The debate around defining the largest city in the world has more than one answer, because a city can be understood in more than one way. The United Nations, for example, considers three key parameters: a city's geographical borders on the map, the length of its purely urban areas, and/or the size of its wider metropolitan areas. Some of the largest cities, or metropolises, in the world today are Tokyo, Delhi, and New York City. But these, too, could become part of an even bigger structure called a megalopolis, or supercity, which are, in essence, multiple cities connected together. But where does that growth end? Now, with advancements in technology and an increasing population, more of the world is urbanized than ever before. So if this continues, there's the chance, even likelihood, that one day in the future we'll see supercities begin to connect up as well, until, eventually, possibly, we'll just have one supremely large planet-wide arrangement. This is what's known in speculative fiction, but also in genuine scientific prediction, as an ecumenopolis. The term was first coined by the Greek city planner Konstantinos Apostolio Doxiadis in 1967. Back then, just a few decades ago, the idea might have still felt faintly possible, but not so much anymore. An ecumenopolis is an urban structure so massive that it spans the total land area of an entire planet. In some ways, it's something of an endgame for globalization, and thanks largely to the advent of the internet, but also to all manner of other connecting technologies emerging in recent times, including mass transcontinental travel links, Earth is better globalized now than it has ever been before. But still, we're not quite at ecumenopolis levels just yet. There are still some further changes that we would have to go through. Although there are undoubtedly challenges with a universal currency, economists have before predicted that it could one day happen. Were humanity to set its mind to building a true planet-wide city, then we might expect it to be built on such a currency. The issue of a proposed universal language is perhaps much more difficult to imagine and totalitarian to implement. There's some debates that a universal language will one day be necessary, but there's some debates that we might actually already have one, in the form of mathematics or digital code, or even emojis. However, whether or not an ecumenopolis would involve or need all residents speaking the same language all of the time still seems unlikely. Today's cities are alive with thousands of languages as they are, and mostly without any major problems. Given that language can be such a vital part of individual identity, it could prove that the best and most efficient ecumenopolis is one that actively preserves some differences within it. What's more immediately obvious is that transportation would undergo a revolution, were we to transform Earth in this way. And there's some argument that train travel might be better placed than air travel to serve an ecumenopolis. At present, and in general, trains are more energy efficient than planes, although there are of course longer travel times involved. That said, and as difficult as it is to imagine, were Earth to become an ecumenopolis, then there would likely be multiple physical roads, tracks, and tunnels linking all the different landmasses. On-the-ground bridges and freeways across even the largest oceans, highways from Europe to America. The southern tip of South America joins to the east coast of Australia, and all along these incredible roads, there would spring up new towns and settlements on artificial islands built to serve travelers. Again then, life in this alternate reality might not need air travel quite so much as we do now. It's one aspect of the wider, probably most significant problem of all when picturing an ecumenopolis: energy. How would such an eye-wateringly massive city generate the power needed to run itself? We know that fossil fuels run out and that they cause pollution, so green living would have to be at the heart of any successful city planet. Nuclear energy has its possibilities, but were an entire planet to run off it, then the immense heat byproduct and long-term nuclear waste could adversely turn Earth into an unlivable place. Of all the options currently available, perhaps solar panels would be our best bet. The entire world would be fitted with them, on all buildings, across all expanses of water, possibly even on all machines and even objects, including clothing. And, of course, if we could build a Dyson sphere up there to reliably harvest and channel the sun's energy to us, then all the better. We would never survive on only that, though. With widespread solar panels, we could quickly turn our world into some kind of shimmering, metallic ball of blatant industry and nothing else. But in doing so, we'd die off anyway. A working ecumenopolis would need all that stuff to run, roads and pylons and solar generators, but would also require green space just as much. First and foremost, to sustain oxygen levels for agriculture and to clean out the air. But even were we to invent more machines that could do that instead, we also know that nature inspires a number of other benefits. Studies show that time in gardens and other natural spaces can quicken healing in patients, reduce stress and violence in the community, improve concentration levels, happiness levels, our sense of self, and more. And clearly, these would all be hugely important factors to consider when maintaining such a massive city. If the people within it can't breathe clean air, or if they can't enjoy their lives, then eventually that city would fall. What do you think would be the most important factor for an ecumenopolis? If you were mayor of this town, effectively the leader of Earth, what would you focus most of your time on achieving? Certainly, for us as we are, there's a long way to go between now and this particular future time. Estimates vary, but it's thought that an ecumenopolis in full swing could be home to more than 1 trillion people, at least. Even at current population growth rates, it's not like we'll be needing one right away. However, if society was to evolve like this, then Earth as we know it would gradually disappear. We'd have housing on the ocean, a belt of solar panels along the equator, cross-country railroads from London to Los Angeles, regional councils spanning whole continents, universal currencies, and perhaps even the removal of national and political borders, total trust and cooperation all over the map. Potentially. Today, comfortably more than half of the people on Earth live in urban environments. In the future, it could be all of us as standard. If nothing else, consider the light and power that could be blazing out of our world and into the rest of space if this were to happen. Earth would be lit up like never before. And indeed, some astronomers do already look for ecumenopolises when searching for alien life. As technosignatures go, this is the big one, but that's what would happen if humans lived